Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome to the first video of Tuesday. Bit later on, it's not normally when I look to get content out. But look, here's the thing. It's there's not much going on in the community, to be honest. You were waiting for Kabam to answer off on a few things, and as well, I've collected together some new stuff for the MCN, and that's all going to be out tomorrow. But yeah, there's not really much on in terms of stuff. Most of that is going to come in on Friday with the new announcements of events, and then we'll be, be covering stuff. We'll be doing side quest, totals, guides and stuff. They're going into next week. New event quest, bit of buzz, and then it's, back to the normal things. I'm also going to look to create some guides and things. I've just finished the write-up for the unit and arena grind for 2024. So that's going to come out then. I'm working on some other stuff. So look. What this video is not about, it's a little bit of information just then, but I thought what we'll do is we'll do a a targets-based video and also an encouragement to people about, the game and getting on with stuff. Because look, create targets for your new year. Whether it's a case you want to, increase how much you play MCOC or even decrease MCOC, you want to be able to get as much from this game as possible, especially when it comes to allocating time to it. Whether or not it is a case of doing every single solo event for the year, which, by the way, if you do that, I'll just throw some unitary numbers at you. If you say to yourself, set some targets like I want to do every solo event of 2024, you could pick up about 9,900 units. I kid you not. So look, there is and are things possible for you to get, and that is something as well. Set these targets yourself. I want to achieve X amount of units. Or it's a case of you want to grab as many units as possible for the Banquet Event 2024. And of course, this is when 2024, at the end of it, would probably see better rewards for players, especially because by proxy, Kabam have to depreciate the meta rewards. So you're probably going to see a lot more spicier things in 2024 because they can't make it exactly the same. It just would go against how the game evolves. I would say as well, solo event wise, go and do story event wise, go and do some of the main if there's something that you want to do, story quest wise, go and do it. If you've holding off on something where is it? There. For example, if for whatever reason you haven't done Act 8 or you haven't done Act 7, you haven't done something to get yourself to a new titanage, go do it. Use it as an opportunity. Or set a target. For example, my big target at the moment is to 100% Necropolis by end of January 2024. Now, I've got the units to do it. Even if I completely suck at doing it, I'm going to be able to do it because I've got sufficient amount of revives that I could use with units. I don't want to do that because there's a looming background target that I want to be. I want to either invest in my Act 8.4 completion deal. I think it's the completion deal you get from there, or it's a case of getting the exploration. I think it's referred to as the exploration deal, but you get it at the point of completion. So that's what I'm aiming for. That's the main thing that I'm interested in grabbing. Or it's a case of being competitive in the July 4th deals, but also having as many units as possible for said July 4th deals, or using said units to then get myself done with other things, other challenges. And I think this year is to be a little bit more selfish about my own progression, because a lot of the time I do spend a lot of my time creating videos and guides and things like that. And maybe this year is all about I don't know, the selfish me. I don't know. I'm still thinking about what I want to achieve this year. But that's the thing. Just rather than being blind with what you want to achieve, go and set some targets. And as I said, I've got short-term and several long-term goals that I want to achieve. Champions-wise, I've got a heck of a lot of champions to rank up. I've got the resources to rank up a good chunk of them. And look, I definitely want to get, 2 rank 3 7-stars by the end of January. But as well, I'd like to get more. And of course, you need units for deals because as much as Kabam say, hey, look, free to play, access to these 7-star rank 3s and this material is kind of limited. You have to, if you're a non-spending player of the game, look to where you can get gains. Of course, there was some tier 4 alpha in the Cyber Weekend deals, but it is not sufficient. And it's going to be a long time before a free-to-play player is able to pick up another one. Unless they got very lucky in the Banquet Event or, you know, other stuff. But that's really the thing with a lot of this, is to encourage you all to kind of get things done. I'd say as well, create little kind of like goals for yourself, like Battlegrounds. Okay, you finish at a certain point. I want to do better than that. What will it take? Will it take like improving my roster first in order to get there? Again, ask these questions of yourself. Incursions. I really enjoy doing incursions. Trying to find a time for it is always a really tricky thing, but once you do it at least once, you've got the artifacts, and obviously when you get to a certain point, you're able to get that 7-star champion, 7-star crystal. And look, that's beneficial if there's going to be a new 7-star added to your roster. It's helpful for arena, for free-to-play players. It's helpful in general if there's a certain champion that's going to be annoying for a meta, and also, you know, annoying in general. Like, you know, Mojo. I really want to dupe my Mojo, but getting for the first time, it's fantastic. That's a good starting point right there. But going as far as you possibly can and using certain champions, like, do you want to, I don't know, build a roster with a synergy in mind that's going to be like, I don't know, Hercules with Galen and Odin? Do you have those champions? Do you not have those champions? Is it a case you want to be more Baron Zemo, Kate, Bishop, or Shuri in incursions? Like, again, ask these questions of yourself. Go and check out, like, you know, champion combinations and go, is this something that I want to be kind of looking at down the line to go as further and farther? It may be a case, depending on where you are in the game, to kind of join a new alliance. It may be a case you want to make those gains to an alliance that kind of like is a bit more competitive in a different area. Possibly, possibly not. There may be some special quest that you want to get done that you haven't got done before. Maybe you want to spend a bit of time to 100% Necropolis. Maybe it's a case of making that small step to get the Grandmaster Gauntlet done. Maybe it's a case of, okay, you want to do Eternity of Pain, for example. Something that I'm very happy that I 100%ed when I did. But of course, do bear in mind, as things go on, it falls out of line when it comes to the meta. But it may be for the time that, you know, quick access to something, if you're, you know, skilled enough or have the revives or the units, you could be able to take yourself through that particular pain point and grabbing something. It may be a case you want to go and do Abyss for the first time, or go back to Abyss. It's definitely something I would like to go back to, but I've got really no interest to go back to. I mean, the rewards fall out of meta, and even from a case of kind of like the Karina's challenges, I'd rather just do it where it's a little bit more easier to kind of go and grab stuff, because those rewards at the moment, I don't see, apart from getting the profile picture, I don't see anything of interest for me that I can't just get from a side quest or an event quest on a monthly basis. And that's sad, but then that's how it goes. Like, I'm saving back the units was probably a wise idea in the long run. The same thing we say like Necropolis. Necropolis could be out of date when it comes to the depreciation side of things. Not this year, not next year, maybe not even the year after, but that will be the telltale sign, I think, in 3 years' time. But look, again, points to the matter. Champion acquisition. Do bear in mind there will come a time where there will be certain champions you want to acquire. How you acquire those specific base champions? It may be Abyss level selectors. Will they be from July 4th deals? Will they be from any kind of deal that pops up from time to time? Saving and farming some units to have, especially if you're non-spending, may be the wise thing to be like. And of course, anything can really happen. Look at what happened to me in December 2023. A lot of the champions I was looking to get that I've tried to hunt for about the last 2 years, all of a sudden fell into my lap. I am at a point where I'm now I've got to find the time to properly rank up all these champions, level them up. Now I've got all of these different kind of ones that I've been chasing, and then it's a case of relearning. And that's the other thing as well. Learning to play champions that you haven't had the time to kind of like, you know, play is important. But do bear in mind you can't learn everything and kind of keep that knowledge there. After a time, you know, trying to learn how to play every single champion becomes a little bit laborious and a bit stressful. But look, we persevere. We persevere as a community when it comes to this. So yeah, that's really it. This is a video just saying Make plans, write down on a piece of paper, put it on your computer, put a spreadsheet together. Like you're like, okay, well, this is what I want to achieve and this is how I plan to achieve it. And go do it. Set targets and go smash them. Then set more targets. Keep yourself active, proactive. And of course, do bear in mind, we've got Alliance raids coming up soon. So it's going to be a very busy time very quickly. But yeah, that's been a video. Little one, just kind of like, just give you a bit of a pep talk. And good luck in 2024. And look out for more content starting tomorrow. Probably back to the grind then. Cheers, everybody. Bye-bye.